a Pete Primeau fan.
Thank you for having me.
Your fans are like...
What an honor to be here, Pete. You're a legend. You're a rock star.
I'm a legend in my own mind, said my wife.
If I can do it, anybody can do it.
I'm Mr. Selling from the Heart. What's this guy, Larry Levine, going to teach me about selling from the heart?
You are one of the most generous and authentic people around. And I think that's why you and your show are so attractive to people.
Welcome to the Pete Primeau Show. It is episode 261. Can't believe it's this many, Chris. Thank you for being here on the trip with me. And let's get busy paying the bills. If you haven't bought my book, Sell a Million, what are you waiting for? 101 tips on how to do more business and make more profit, close more sales. It's really a marketing book more than anything else. Best compliment I ever got on this book was from my friend Doug Stewart. Take the word furniture or mattress out. It's just a great business and marketing book. So thank you for that, Doug. And my most recent book, Miles and Miles of Retail Selling Greatness. And guys and gals, this isn't my book. This is our book. Brent Batterman, Chris Tahaney, Jeff Giannakovo, Steve Carnes, Randy Thompson, Mel Opp, Justin Trumbo, Scott Vaughn, Keith Cassinguy, and Mark Klingenberg all contributed to this book. So it is really based on 43 years of experience when I actually wrote it, plus 2 million miles traveled, plus 10 other gentlemen's experience. If you want 3 years worth of sales meetings in one place, this is the book for you. So grab it on Amazon. I think Miles and Miles of Retail Selling Greatness is $19.99, something ridiculous like that. And Sell a Million's even more ridiculous. I think it's $14.99 on Amazon. So really proud of those books. Pick one up. If you have questions about the book, anything in the book, and you want help implementing it, call me at 419-560-3169. And up to a half an hour of my time, I will give you absolutely free. So these days, that's worth a lot of money because my time is becoming increasingly invaluable to me at 65 years old. Anyway, who's the next sponsor? We've got to pay the bills. Steve and Greg, thank you so much for sponsoring the Pete Primeau Show. The Mattress Industry Network group is just a great group. They're on Facebook, and it's 100% free. I believe like 2,800, 2,900, might even be close to 3,000 by now. If you want to learn how to build, market, sell, and succeed in the mattress industry, join this group. Like I said, it's 100% free. Everybody's in here, from store owners to RSAs to reps. You have owners of manufacturing companies. You have VPs of sale. Lots of people. Hey, David, great to see you. Can't wait. I'm glad you're here again, David. Thank you. What other bills do we have to pay? Chris Tahaney. This is, guys and gals, please listen. This is super important. Chris is writing a book that's going to elevate our industry. If you have a success story with a retail customer, how they got a better night's sleep, how they improve their quality of life because of their interaction with you, get that over to Chris at this email, mattressrsastories@gmail.com. Doesn't have to be great grammar, written well. Chris is one of the best writers I've ever met in my life. He will polish it up, email it back to you for your approval. And if it makes the cut, it will be included in the book. So, guys, gals, get behind this. This will help elevate our industry. This can become a book of ideas for RSAs to look at and say, this is something that I can do to help this customer get this result. And it's just a great project. I want you guys to get behind this. And if you have any questions, just get a hold of my friend, Chris Dehaney. Chris, thank you. This is an absolute great project. If you have shy RSAs and they have stories, submit them for them. You know, if you're a store owner, it's in your best interest to elevate your RSAs. So submit it for them. And all I can say is please, please, please send your stories in. Help Chris elevate the industry with this project. I think we have one or two more. I am dying to talk to you, Matt Wolf, but I've got to get through these. Listen, if you don't belong to Mattress Retailer Toolkit for $99 a month, it's ridiculous. You need to be here. It's a Facebook group, and it's training, and it's exclusive offers. And it is, if you're a store owner and you're not in this group, you're killing yourself. You're absolutely killing yourself. There are so many benefits. I've yelled at my friend Jeff Giannakovo many times and told him it should be at least $300-400 a month, not $100 a month. But he doesn't listen to me. Thankfully for you, you can get all of this great content, learn how to be a better store owner, be more profitable, do more volume, and all you got to do is hit that QR code right there. Chris, thank you for catching me. And there's something special going on in Vegas Saturday night. If you are there, I think there might still be a few openings. The Retailer Boardroom Dinner hosted by MRT. There is going to be a special surprise guest. And this special surprise guest is an awesome, passionate, and super talented person that you are going to be shocked and surprised that will be there. And it will absolutely make it all worthwhile. If we are charging $500 for the dinner, it would be worth it to see this guy. He's that good. I will be there. I rearranged my schedule to make sure that I could attend. So I will be there, and I will be delighted to help 30 other sales store owners with any questions that you have. I'm looking forward to this. It's 100% free, hosted by MRT. So if you guys are interested in that, get a hold of Jeff and join us. I think there's a few openings left. So it's going to be an event that will be talked about for years to come. I promise you. I think that's it. Chris, did I get through them all? Matt, welcome.
What's going on, Pete?
So come here, everybody. This is my old teammate from Sutherland. We used to work together at Sutherland, and I probably gave poor Matt the hardest time of any rep. I really wanted you to come on to this show so that I could publicly apologize for being such a dickhead when I was younger.
Well, I'm sure I was too. So that's okay.
It was before Jesus got a hold of me. I thought I was good, but I wasn't anywhere close to where I needed to be. But Matt, I have just kind of watched in the background and seen Mattress Lux grow, and people talk about this guy, Matt Wolf. And I'm like, is that the same Matt Wolf that I worked with at Sutherland? Believe it or not, it is. So catch me up.
Yeah.
What have you just give me, like, from Sutherland to Mattress Lux, what that evolution looks like.
Perfect. Yeah. So Yeah, as you may remember, I was the director of training at Sutherland, and
Yep.
man, we were developing all kinds of trainings. We were traveling all over the country. From there, I decided that we had wanted to grow our family, and so we decided that traveling wasn't the way to go for us. And so we made a move to what is now Nashco Furniture. I was there for a little while as their VP of sales, and then I went from there. We decided, well, now we've got 2 kids. We ended up adopting as we were in Nashville, and decided now 2 kids, family's back in Atlanta. So we moved back to Atlanta, and there we began to work at Rooms to Go. And then, so here we are, I'm traveling again. I'm the regional director of the mattress portion, mattress trainer for them. And all that travel really just kind of reminded me of really what my goals in life were. And so I had to sit down with my wife one day, and I said, you know what, I don't want to be 80 years old and have only climbed the corporate ladder by the time I get there. I don't want to look back on my life and realize that that's all I've really done. I want to look back on my life and realize that I've dedicated my life to things that will matter forever, for eternity. And to me, that is my family, my local church, and missions. That's where my passion is. And so we had decided that, man, I guess we're going to leave the mattress industry because it's either long retail hours or a lot of travel. And my dad, he is an entrepreneur. He said, Matt, why don't you just do it yourself? So that's what we did. In December of 2019, we decided to form an LLC and start looking for a location. And then, we opened our doors in February of 2020. Which was an amazing time to start a business.
Your timing couldn't have been better, brother.
I am fully convinced that God does things in a way that only He can get the glory. And so He had me open a store in a time that there's no way I could survive unless He did it. So here we are.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I want to unpack something.
Sure.
So for everyone that sees this humble Matt here, when he was the director of training at Sutherland, he was absolutely brilliant. I don't know how many of his ideas I still use to this day. So, becoming a VP of sales right after a director of training is challenging. There's only one other person I know that did something similar, and that's Chris Dehaney. He went from being a trainer at Protect a Bed to being my boss, a regional manager, and he had never taken the step in between to be a rep. So I'm great. I'm like, great. I got this guy who's a trainer, never been a rep. Now he's going to coach me up. Best experience of my life. One of the best bosses I ever had. I learned so much from Chris. And I'll tell you what I really got from Chris. The humbleness to ask fellow retailers who are better than us for help and listening to what they have to say. And listening to what some of their challenges are and coming up with creative solutions. So I love the fact that you've kind of gone between wholesale and retail.
Sure.
Before you ended up in retail. And that's just great experience.
It's helped a lot. Yeah. It's helped a lot in establishing a lot of credibility when someone walks in the door.
So 2019, December of 2019, January market, I probably got COVID. We didn't even know that COVID existed till April of 2020. Am I right?
Yeah. No, that's it was like it was a rumor. And COVID was a rumor in February when we opened, and it was a full-blown pandemic by March and April. And so when we first opened, you can see photos here of the store right now where we were getting mattresses in there to start, and small little 2,000 square foot showroom next to a bar. It was about as humble of a beginning as you could imagine. When we first opened, we had opened as an appointment only model. And so that inadvertently kind of worked in the midst of a COVID selling scenario where people were more afraid to go into places where they felt there was going to be 3 or 4 people in the room. And so having that one-on-one experience kind of helped at that timing.
That is amazing. And your model's morphed over the years, hasn't it?
Yes. We are not by appointment only anymore. And in fact, it's interesting. We opened up as called a company called Georgia Mattress Brokers. We were really, the intention was to open up as the better warehouse type, where you're actually going to get sleep education. You're actually going to get mattress education. You're actually going to get helped instead of just sold and discounted at. And so that was the model. But then I kind of began to discover that the customers that like that model don't care about education and sleep. And so I began to transition more into better goods, higher priced items, and really then still leaning into that heavy education, heavy sleep model. And that's worked out really well over the last 3 years, when we changed our name to Mattress Lux 3 years ago.
Awesome. It's a great Mattress Lux is absolutely a fabulous name. Did you test that much, or did you guys just kind of come up with it?
I kind of just racked my brain for about 6 months trying to figure out what would be a right name. And we wanted to provide a luxury experience without the stuffiness of a typical luxury store. We wanted to have more of a laid back environment. We wanted to have more of what I tell people is, I tell all of my sales associates that when a customer walks in, they should feel like they're about to be served by a very laid back butler. We're going to get everything for them. We're going to tell them all they need. We're going to carry their pillow. We're going to be their pillow caddy, is what we say. We're going to take their products out to the door. We may even walk into the car for them. Every customer gets walked to the door, whether they buy or not, when they leave. It's just a kind of a butler type experience. And so we felt that fit Lux. We also felt that we wanted to change the way people viewed luxury, that luxury is personal. It's not what you buy. It's how you feel the next day. And so it's more about helping people feel better the next day than it is about getting them the most expensive product necessarily. And then also Lux means light. So that's why we didn't put an E on the end of it. We wanted it to have more of a concept of light, meaning that we believe that this industry can be very dark. There's a lot of misinformation. There's a lot of smoke and mirrors, and we wanted to be more of a very transparent, genuine, and shed light on the industry to help customers understand that, look, this doesn't have to be as complicated as you think.
Matt, my text is blowing up, and we're getting a lot of people asking questions. So we're going to just take a little break. I have to read something to you, though, because I think you're going to be really happy about this. So one of my dear friends in this life is Scott Vaughn.
Yeah.
And when he saw that I had you on, he texted me something about you.
The best.
Let me find it. Here it is. I'm going to read this word for word. You've got a stud guest on today! Exclamation point. And Scott says the undisputed best stash in the mattress industry, brother Matt Wolf.
I don't think that's debatable. I'm sure there's guys with much better mustaches, but I'll take it. And we know Scott's the true stud.
He is a stud. Anthony Campos, Matt Wolf in the house. Love following his mattress journey. Me too, Anthony. And David. Hey, Matt.
How you doing, David?
Solution selling the best.
Yes.
Yeah. We need more of that. And Scott Montague, who is absolutely rarefied air, who, oh my gosh, if Scott ever charged me by the hour for all the phone calls he's had on with me, I'd be in the poorhouse. Matt is a talented guy with a beautiful store. And gotta tell you something, Scott doesn't say that to everybody.
Yeah.
He's
a great guy.
He's the real deal. He's been around a long time, and He's a guy that I bring my problems to, and he helps solve them.
Yeah.
He's
genuine, very genuine guy.
Yeah. All right. So from when you have one child to now 4 and another one on the way?
We do. Yes. Thank the Lord. Yep.
What differences have you seen in yourself as a businessman and or as a salesman? You can take it any which way you want to go. As a result of increasing, becoming more of a father every time you have another child, it changes you. What I've always said to people who don't have children, I ask them, are you a little nervous? And most guys actually say, yeah, I'm a little nervous. I said, don't be. It's the most natural, wonderful thing that will ever happen to you. And everything that you do, you're going to be better at, because you're going to hold this little baby in your hand the minute or two after they clean the child up, and it's in your arms.
Right.
And you're going to look at this baby and you're going to say something like this: don't worry, I've got you.
Yeah.
And everything that you do, doesn't matter what you do, you will do better. So what was it for you, brother?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with that. I would say that with every child you find, this was shocking to me, because when I went from 1 to 2, I remember telling my wife, I'm worried because I don't know if I'm going to be able to love the second one as much as the first. As the first just rocked my world on how I didn't know I could love like that. I didn't know I could feel like that for another person. And then number 2 shows up, and all of a sudden, oh, wow, the love grows. And so with each child, your heart expands and grows, and it makes you hopefully, and I think this is one of the reasons the Bible calls children a gift from the Lord, is it grows you as a loving person in general. They're designed to humble you. They're designed to make you fully aware of all your shortcomings, because they do that really well. They make me realize how impatient I am when I thought I was super patient. And so patience grows, and hopefully, you're growing in those ways as God works in your heart because of them. So I would say personally, that's that. Professionally, when people bring in their kids and their kids are crazy, it doesn't bother me. I don't let it get to me. I'm used to it. I feel like I'm at home. I would like to think that maybe the patience grows and translates into the store as well. When, customers aren't easy. It would be perfect. It would be amazing if a customer walked in, picked a mattress in 5 minutes and left. But it doesn't work like that. They like to take their time. They like to mull things over. They want to ask a million questions. They want to ask the same question 20 times. And so being able to be patient with the customer and understand and empathize where they're coming from, I think just maybe, I can give kids the credit, I think, for that. Of course, just life in general is shaped that in a lot of ways too.
Yeah. My father spent a lot of time with me because I was extremely hyper as a child. And he said, Pete, I was a lot like you, but I found my patience through my children. And the only thing I ever knew was a very patient father. I mean, I didn't know him when he wasn't patient, but when my Uncle Andy and my Uncle Bob would talk with my dad, I understood that he had a completely different life before I was brought into this world.
Sure.
And I would say the same thing for me. I found my patience through my children. And I think what you said, I think the good Lord does a lot of work through our children to round out some of the rough spots and smooth over some of the rough spots that we have in our personalities.
Yep.
He will give us exactly what we need to change for the better. And then, here's the other thing for me with children. When the devil has a funny way of working on people, right? He'll say, you did this. He's the great accuser. You did this, you did that. And is there anything I wouldn't forgive of my children? No. Then how much more is my heavenly Father going to forgive?
Amen.
It's
Yep.
it's so that comes
I love
along with that. So as a business, John, hey John, you and John got so much in common. It's ridiculous.
We got to meet. I got to meet this guy.
Oh my Lord, you guys haven't met?
No.
Oh my Lord, you have to meet. John says, love following your journey, Matt. Keep crushing it. John has a great story, and he's an amazing human being. Anthony Campos is asking a question. Your social media is unique, Matt, but what has been your biggest driver of gaining customers to come in the store?
I still think we're figuring that out. We're always trying to figure that out. What seems to work in February doesn't work in March. We're constantly trying to figure out what is it that's going to continuously drive that. And I think, part of the aim of getting more customers in the store is just testing things and trying new things and constantly trying to see what's evolving. I'll say this, one of the best, I guess, phrases I heard when I used to work at Mattress Firm is a long time ago, was be the company that if existed today would put you out of business.
Ooh,
right.
That's great.
Be the company that if existed today would put you out of business. And I think that's just what we're always trying to do is look ahead and see, what would happen if a company came in and did XYZ, then we should just do that first. I think one thing that's been, I think, helpful for us is word of mouth. Our experience in the store, we really strive to drive a different experience when they come in. One of my favorite things ever is when someone comes in and said, I had 3 people who don't know each other tell me to come in to Mattress Lux. That to me is probably one of the biggest, yes, it's working. Like we're doing something right. Someone comes in for a product that we carry, like Helix mattress. Those have always been some drivers. I would say God has been very gracious to me and some good guesses on products to bring in that might bring people in and it begins to work. And so like Helix or Puffy was a good one for a while. We're always looking for that next kind of driver that's going to bring people in. Another thing is I think a lot of the industry is moving towards, has always been moving towards memory foam products. And we're trying to move away from that and more towards hybrids, more towards latex options, because there's just not a lot of people who have latex in our area. And really just whatever Mattress Firm is doing right now, we just do the opposite. I mean, I think that is just, from a merchandise perspective.
Guys and gals, everybody watching this, stop what you're doing, get a piece of paper out and write down what Matt Wolf just said. And I'm going to tell you guys something. I was in a sales meeting in December with a very large top 100. And the director of mattresses was asked a question about, future developments in terms of adding other brands. And he said this: rest assured that whatever brands we bring on, Mattress Firm will not have. We are not comfortable with that situation on 100 different levels. We don't believe in monopolies, and we don't believe in supporting our competitors. So that is huge what you just said, and you said it just so casually, like it was like a nothing burger. But it's huge. It's huge. Be something different. Be something better. And Matt, I've always been a huge proponent of latex. The minute I laid on it was over 40 years ago. I knew it was different, and it was like it didn't exist in our industry, even as an option. But I see you've got avocado, and I'm sure you have some other options as well.
Yes.
But latex is super important. Number one, because you sleep on it, not in it. And there's this pushback that it has. It's very unusual. And if people like that, they're never going to settle for memory foam. They're just not going to do it.
Right.
And it has serious benefits for your customer, but the business benefit for you is exactly what Matt just said. Separates you from the competition, gives you a reason to exist in the marketplace. You know, you can't be the same as everybody else and expect them just to come in because they like you.
Right. I'm never going to be able to outmarket them or
Outspend them.
outspend them on Google. I can't outspend
You're out.
them on
You're
Google.
out marketing everybody right now, Matt. I got to tell you something. I see some pretty heavy Gary V influences, without the swearing.
Yeah.
Without the swearing, but you know, you are such a great natural spokesperson, and you are portraying this laid back butler so well in your video. When you said that, I just wrote it down and I circled it, and then I looped it back up to Mattress Lux, and then I wrote videos next to it because you are the butler.
We're aiming to be that. We want every customer that comes in to feel like they've been served. I want every customer that comes in to feel like they, you know, whether they believe what I believe about God or not, I want them to understand that I believe that they are image bearers of God. They have value, they have intrinsic worth. And because they have intrinsic worth, they're worthy of proper service, proper education, and truth. And not being, they're not being, you know, thrown around and confused, but helped.
Wow. I could go on for 2 or 3 hours unpacking that one, but I just have to say thank you, Matt, for saying that, because it's incredibly huge. When you helping your customer get into the right sleep system is, and the outcomes that they're going to receive, waking up happy and pain-free, living a longer, happier, more productive life, being a better wife, mother, father, brother, sister, teacher, fireman, policeman, whatever it is that you do in this life, you're going to do it better if you get a good night's sleep consistently.
100%.
And we can do that.
Yeah.
And so we have this awesome superpower at our disposal, and we like throw it away as store owners. We don't really understand. You know, Scott Vaughn says it the best. You are the most important business in your town because we directly impact people's health and wellness. David Grange, Smart Life, the best. I know they're changing the product. I don't know if they're changing the name, David, but that's going to change. But it's a great concept. I agree. Yeah. Roger Cunningham, way to go, Matt, as unto him.
Amen. Yeah.
Amen. Amen. Thank you, Roger. All right. So it's not stopping. Is this Jimmy or is this Greg? I think it's Greg.
Yes, Greg.
Greg at Sweet Dreams Furniture Mattress. Matt trained the dream team when he was at Sutherland and knocked our socks off. Yeah, he did that everywhere he went. We've been huge fans ever since, and now that we see his social media dance moves, we need his autograph. Gotta have your autograph, Matt.
You know, the dance moves are an old part of my life that all of my employees force out of me. Now, that's funny. If they were here, they'd be like, "Yeah, right. Matt just dances anytime there's music, and we just get it on film." So, you know, it's fun. If one of our core values here is fun, you know, it can't be stuffy environment. So we want to goof off. We want to have a good time. We want customers to feel like they're not entering a showroom, but they're entering like a little mattress Disney
I don't
World.
know. That's pretty good. I couldn't ever begin to do that. Jenny will testify.
Yeah, I hate attention. It's horrible.
That's funny. You just said something so casually, like isn't like nothing, but so important. Have fun.
Mm-hmm.
And you need to have fun. Even if you're a solo store owner, you need to have fun.
Absolutely.
During your downtime, so that when that customer comes in, you're not stale. You got a big smile. It's a real, genuine, authentic smile. and you're happy. And
Yes.
whatever you need to do that, do that. And when you have a team of salespeople, remember everything that you decide to say or do affects them more than you realize. And what you want is you want happy salespeople. If you ever have to coach somebody up, coach them up in off hours, maybe after the store closes, never before the store opens. That's not the right time. But coach people up. And if you have to coach them up, give them some love, coach them up, give them some more love. Let them know you're on their team and you're supporting them. But make sure they have fun. Feed your salespeople. Make sure they know they're appreciated. And listen, I'm going to tell you this. You know, everybody, I constantly get this, Matt. How do I retain my salespeople? You know, I'm losing salespeople. You know, I can't keep salespeople. Listen, good salespeople are so hard to find. You have to go through 3 or 4 hires to even begin to get a good one. And maybe that number is higher. When you get a good one, make them feel like they're part of the company. Listen to their ideas. When possible, even if you know it's a direction you're going to go in anyway, bounce it off so that they feel like it's their idea and they have ownership in it when it gets implemented. You know, Matt, I don't know if you remember this or not. I used to tell everybody because I was so proud of it. When I was in retail, I helped launch Lawhon's program, John F. Lawhon's program. And I was the trainer. And as well, I should have been, since he stole my greeting. But that's okay. That was a nice compliment that God rest his soul, that he actually stole my greeting and put it in his book. But we didn't get traction because we didn't get the top salespeople. We needed the top 5 salespeople to come together and all be sold on it. Not 1 out of the 5.
Right.
I was 1 out of the 5, but everybody else, it never went anywhere. Like, they didn't want to make it mandatory. They paid, I don't know how much money they paid for it. We were 5 big furniture stores. Like, back then, you didn't have these monster stores. 35,000 to 40,000 square feet was about as big as furniture stores got back then. And they bought the program for the entire group, and probably 10 people went through the whole thing because they didn't let anybody else in on it, and they didn't get consensus. They didn't build consensus before they went forward.
Yeah, there's a lot of benefits to having a team environment. That's actually one of the reasons why we don't pay our salespeople commission. We actually have just a bonus structure that if the company wins, everybody wins, because we want everyone to feel like this is our company. I would like it if everyone had obviously personal goals everyone has, but if we're operating as a team, then the customer senses that. And they feel like they've walked into a team environment, not a sales or Sharky environment. And then the other side of it is, again, kind of reincorporating this idea of fun. Is before anyone walks in, we kind of all have this little mantra. Before, instead of saying it's you're up, we say go have fun.
I love that.
Go have fun. Make a friend versus get a sale. And that to me just sets the mind and the heart in the right place as we begin to approach our customer, that this is not about closing a deal. This is about making a friend. It's about having a good time. This is about educating them. And then we just trust God with the results. That's how we want to operate. But yeah, so having a team environment is really important. I totally agree with you. We're talking about opening a second location, and I'm talking to everyone about it. Do we do it? Do we not do it? Where do we go? Everyone's involved. And that's important, because if I need somebody from here to go open that store, it's like, this was our decision. We decided this. All right. I know it's a longer drive, but we found the benefits to this. So everyone's involved, and it's not just me pushing people, but we're all kind of doing this together. In fact, I was interviewing a guy. It was Friday. And I was telling him that my leadership style really isn't one from like an ivory tower, but instead it's actually more like like we're all in this sheep pen together, more of a shepherd among the sheep rather than somebody in an ivory tower. There, naturally there has to be an order of leadership, but we should operate on the day to day as if I'm just one of the fold. So that we're all in this together. We're all just trying to make this company something amazing together. And I think that's my intentions. Hopefully we're successful with that, but that's the goal.
I love have fun. When I first got in the business, I had a mentor who used to say hi nice. Which I thought was great,
Yeah.
right? Because, it should feel like they're coming into your home. And like, how do we welcome people into our home? Hey, glad you're here. Come on in.
Right.
Can I get you something?
That's it. Yep.
And that's, that kind of goes right back to the laid back butler, I think, pretty close.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
So when you are working with your salespeople, are there any things that you do differently now than you would have done back when you were the director of training at Sutherland, when you're working with them and you're trying to train them up and get them to the next level? Are there some things that you do a little bit differently, or is it pretty much the same?
It's funny. A lot is the same. I'm still doing a lot of the same things in the store here that I was trying to train other people to do when I was traveling a lot and giving the sales trainings. I've always tried to be about the consumer experience and understanding not the sales process as much as the customer's buying process, and then retailing our sales process to how people shop. So rather than trying to force the customer to buy the way we want them to, we need to understand the way they buy and then tailor the process accordingly. And I don't think that's changed philosophically for me, but I think probably the way we do it has changed a little bit. I will say, one area I'm trying to grow in is I tend to train in the theoretical, which I think is helpful in some sense because people can then make my training their own. If they get the concepts and they can then make it their own, then that works. Kind of like learning a new instrument. I'm going to teach you the chords. And once you understand the chords, and if you're playing the guitar, all the hand instruments or all the hand positions, once you understand the basics of the process and how we're going to sell and how we're going to do things, then you can begin to make music, and everyone's going to do that a little bit differently. But what I think I can do better is saying, well, this is something you can take with you today, and make this specific thing your own. I can get probably more granular with my training, something they can grab a hold of and actually use with a customer today to help them sell more beds.
It's super interesting to me that you were exclusively a trainer, and now like you wear a dozen hats.
Right.
Like any store owner wears so many hats. You're the marketer, you're the HR, you're doing so many different things. You've got to figure out the merchandising, and then you have to have the relationships with all the vendors. And by the way, I've gotten an awful lot of compliments about having you on the show, not just from Scott Vaughn, but from numerous people throughout the industry. As a matter of fact, Mark Klingenberg said to say hi to you. He said the same thing. He's a stud. He is a stud. Anthony Klatt, love that display behind your desk, Matt Wolf. Is that your display, Anthony?
I don't know if it is or not. It's Pure Care back behind us. So there's some Pure Care sheets, and then I think and some protectors and stuff. But yeah, what were you saying before that? I'm sorry, I lost track of what you were saying.
I did too, so that's good. David says, latex, specifically Taulet, is Mother Nature's gift to the mattress industry with the perfect balance of pressure relief, airflow, and sport all in one. Yes, That is true. And by the way, there's a new Dunlop process too that gives you a lot of the same consistency that you get with Talay, which I never thought we'd see in our lifetime.
Yeah.
It involves mixing the batter for about 2 days.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting.
It
Anthony
limits-
Klatt had a comment. I love Anthony. I want to get that up here, Chris. It's a little time lag. Love that. No, there was another one. There was like 2-sentence one from Anthony, I believe. He's fishing around trying to pull this from all these different like screens that he has.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I can see the YouTube stuff here, but I don't know if there's other ones.
Oh yeah, there's LinkedIn, there's Facebook. He's pulling it from across everybody. Okay, he can't find it right now. He will once we start talking about something. No other comments. See, this is the way that he communicates with me. He puts it up on the screen. So, how else do you differentiate your store in terms of displays? Like, what is your philosophy on displays?
Sure. I like the idea of having a showroom that allows for somebody to come in and work here day one and be able to sell a bed. So they should be able to see signage on the wall that helps them sell. They should see signage on the wall that helps them understand sleep, helps them understand how to talk about sleep. They should see signage on the mattresses that gives all the information without having to flip open a tag, so they can quickly look at it while the customer's on the bed. So like our headboards have, the height, just simple stuff, height of the mattress, how long's the warranty, whether it's a soft, medium, or firm. So we have some kind of basic information on the headboard. There's Josh. This guy. You know what? I'm going to rewind a little bit real quick, because you were asking me about how many hats I wear.
Oh yes, I was.
Right. And you're asking me how I wear so many hats. And this guy, Josh, is my new COO, and he has come in and taken so many hats off my plate.
That's great.
He has been a dream come true for Mattress Lux. And so I think he's really helping me. He has a more operational mind. This guy gets systems and operations and warehousing and shipping and point of sale and all that stuff that just drives me nuts, because I have the attention span of a moth. And so he is amazing at getting my mind to say, hold on, Matt, over here, buddy, we're focused on this. And so it's been amazing to have him on board. He's taken so many hats off my plate to where I can really focus on things like marketing and sales and hopefully expansion. So the hats are coming off my head with each year, thankfully.
That is a super important topic that doesn't get talked about enough, and that is hiring a counterbalance to yourself. If you're a pure blood sales guy, you need somebody who's more operations driven, more systems driven, who will balance you out. And the other thing is, when you start to try, Matt, to wear the hat of the operations and the systems, it's a heavy hat.
Mm-hmm.
It's not fun for you. It's like, it's not work. It's like hard work. It's like, I don't want to do this. Right. And you force yourself to do it because you have to, right?
Right.
And at the beginning, we all have to. But the best thing I ever did was hire my wife, Jenny, bring her into the business and let her do all that other stuff that
she's good at,
that my pure-blooded sales mind hates.
Yes.
And her accountant mind absolutely thrives on and loves.
Right. Yep.
And like, our dealers love her because she constantly finds mistakes in orders before they ship.
Yes.
And it's like, it's gotten to the point where they expect her to find them. And it's like, when we're really hammered, we can't even look at them. So don't depend too much on her. Andy Freeman. I love Andy Freeman. Matt, do you plan to attend the upcoming Vegas market? What are your thoughts about Vegas and High Point?
I am going to Vegas market, and it's funny. I usually go to the summer market where no one else goes. I usually go to the summer one, but I am going to the winter one this time. And I don't really go to High Point. It's not much of a mattress market, at least not yet. I hear it's trying to get there. But as far as like the niche, I like to merchandise kind of in the niche products, and High Point's not quite there yet. I don't think, unless there's something I don't know. But we are going to go to Vegas, and I'm excited to go. There's a lot of really cool things I think coming out. As a small guy, I mean, we're just one store, hopefully two by the end of this year. As a small guy, when you go to a winter market and you see all this cool stuff, and then they say, well, you can't really get it until July. I'm thinking, why don't I just go to the summer market then? So I'm hopeful that's not totally the case this time.
But what happens, and the upholstery people were infamous for this, and still are. There's a lot of things they float out there, and like if enough people make comments and go, yeah, I want that,
right?
They bring it in, and if they get no interest or very little reaction, they kill it.
Yeah.
So I think it's important to go and vote, and Matt, I'm going to tell you this right now. Your vote is going to weigh heavier than the average store's vote, because you're so well respected in the industry. I mean, your background is phenomenal, but what you're doing actually in your store is so different than the average store. It's head and shoulders above what everybody else is doing. I would put you in the category of a Scott Vaughn or a Jeff Giannakovo. I mean, you're really doing something special. And everyone told me that, by the way, people that are way smarter than me, like, you've got Matt Wolf coming on your show. Yeah. Really? Yeah.
Well, that's high praise. It's very nice of them.
Yeah, it is very nice of them. So we've been talking for almost an hour, dude, and our time is coming to a close. So is there a question that I should have asked you that I didn't, that we should put out there for the benefit of our store owners that are watching?
There was you were about to ask it, and then I think I interrupted you. So I would say you were going to say, what else kind of differentiates you?
I was.
And
hey, Matt, what else differentiates you?
I would say, and this I get this mostly from having trained in multiple other stores all over the country, and so seeing what most people do. I wanted to do something very different. And one of those, and I know like some of the gentlemen you just mentioned, they're doing things like this. But when a customer walks in the store, one of the worst things you can do is to begin to transact with them right away. And what I mean by that is to begin to ask them questions that are the same questions they're going to hear everywhere else they go. And it's questions that are basically saying, without saying it, what do you want to buy? Yeah. What do you want to buy? So when someone walks in the door and you say, hey there, welcome in, what size are you looking for? What do you want to buy? How much are we spending today? When you ask them, what are you looking for yourself or for a guest room? What do you want to buy? Something big or something small today? How much commission am I going to make? Instead, what we've tried to do is we try to welcome them, kind of like what you mentioned before, make them feel like they've stepped into our home. And we'll ask them questions like, is this your first time in? And that's an important question, because I need to know if you've heard about us. Because if this is your first time in, then man, you're in for a treat, because we do things very differently. And I get to explain that to the customer of what we do very differently now. And I get to ask them, do you mind if I just tell you a bit about us? And they say, oh yeah, please. And then I get to tell them that we've been in business for 6 years. We specialize in educating our customers. We're real big on not pushing brands or technology or price, but we're going to fit you for the right mattress. And the way we do that is through something called our Lux Fit process, where we're just going to teach you how to find the right mattress, even if it's not one of ours. Does that sound fair? And so it becomes more of a, how are you doing? Welcome in. Is this your first time? How did you hear about us? Is another really good question that we ask. We want to know if somebody referred you, because that's where most of our customers are coming from. We want to give them a little bit of love if they sent you in. So there's some conversation that takes place. And then even before they lay down in a bed, we're going to spend about 7 minutes talking with them about spinal health. We're going to talk about support, where you should feel it, where you shouldn't. We're going to talk about the killers of a good night's sleep, so we know what landmines to watch out for. And then we're going to begin our process of narrowing it down by technology and then by price. And I tell them all this. This is what we're going to do today. And if you follow our lead here, you're going to know exactly how to buy the right mattress from you, even if you go somewhere else and get it, because we've given you all the tools you need to be not a mattress expert, but a mattress shopping expert. And that's really how we frame it, is that we're going to make you a mattress shopping expert.
Wow. That's a lot. So did you hear any pieces of that at any other retailer along the way during your, when you were, at your different stops along the way? Did you just assemble all of that yourself?
Oh gosh, I wouldn't know where to give it credit, but I know I didn't come up with it myself. I think it's just a matter of pieces here and there that I've heard from really smart people. It's mistakes I've made along the way of being overly transactional instead of friendly, being too salesy instead of a friend. Customers already come in with a chip on their shoulder, especially if they've been to 3 or 4 other places. And the last thing I want to do is come at them like this, where it's me versus them. I want them to understand that I'm actually coming alongside you as a helper. And I'm not going to do anything or sell you anything. I'm actually just going to help you do what you want it to do, which is buy. People love to buy, but they hate to be sold. And so I'm going to avoid selling as much as possible. And I'm going to inform and help them buy. And I'm going to be their buddy and their friend in the industry.
What you just shared with us is so true to what you're trying to do with the laid back butler. It's so true to that. But what I love about it, what I've said for years, doesn't matter what you say at the beginning. What really matters more than anything is the feeling that they get from you. Do they get the feeling that you're nervous, or that you're trying to figure out how to pay your bill on their back? Or do they feel like, my Lord, this is the nicest person I think I've ever met in my life. I feel like I'm going to my Aunt Mary's home. And I feel like I can trust this person.
Yeah.
So it's a feeling more than anything. Anthony Klatt says, welcome to Mattress Lux. Is this your first time in? What a great way of engaging and setting a pleasant baseline for the rest of the shopping experience. Friendly versus transactional. 100%, Anthony. Yep. 100%. Anthony, you going to market? I think you are. I will see you at market, my friend. So all of this stuff, none of it surprises me, Matt. And I'm going to tell you why. Because when you were a younger man, you were intense, you were creative, and you were very, very observant about everything. And it does not surprise me one bit that you started to put all of this stuff together. My hat is off to you. It looks like you're addressing everything from the marketing, and specifically the advertising, and to the merchandising, to the sales training, the customer experience. Real quick.
Yeah.
How important do you think testimonials, referrals, and online reviews are in today's new world?
They're everything. For a small business, they're everything. Because
you just heard it, people. They're everything. It's not just Pete Primeau saying it for the 110th time. Matt Wolf just said they're everything.
They are. The person who comes in because somebody else sent them is 100 times more likely to buy from you, especially if you give them the experience they were expecting. Now, if their friends rave about you and they come in and get the opposite experience, it's actually counterintuitive. It becomes hurtful towards you. So you have to be consistent and make sure everyone's getting that same experience, whether they came in to buy a $300 mattress or a $10,000 mattress, they get the same experience. But yes, if somebody comes in because somebody sent them or because the reviews are what they are, and that is bringing people in, then and they meet that same experience, then of course they're going to be most likely to be loyal to you. They've already come in with a sense of loyalty. You just have to match it.
And you know what the best thing, Matt, is? A customer who was referred will refer much easier. A customer that saw an online review will give you an online review because they already saw it modeled. Much easier. It's like a layup shot, but you do have to ask.
Yeah.
Matt, I've enjoyed catching up with you so much in the last hour. Let's make sure we get together and at least say hi to each other at market at some point. Let's make sure that we do that. And how do people get a hold of you? So somebody's watching this and go like, I want to talk to this Matt Wolf dude. He's great. I want to have a conversation with him. How do people get a hold of you?
I'm pretty active on LinkedIn. And then of course you can just email me at matt@mattresslux.com.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Matt, thank you so much. Travel safely to Vegas
you
and
as well.
See you there, brother.
Thank you so much for having me on. This has been so much fun.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you.
All right.
Take
All right.
care.